Hi there. Good Thursday morning. Dangerous wildfires raging across the South.
And the risk for even more could last for weeks. It is April 23rd. This is Today. State of emergency. New fires roaring to life in Georgia and Florida, fueled by gusty winds and a historic drought. Crews attacking the flames from the ground and the air. Thousands ordered to evacuate, others racing to protect their homes.
I was spraying it as much as I could, and then I just threw the water hose on top of it and then ran because it was bad.
We're live on the front lines, and Al's got the full forecast. Major shakeup. The Navy Secretary forced out. His sudden firing coming at a critical time with the war with Iran, the push for peace, and that ongoing U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. We're live in the region and in Washington with the very latest. Trouble in the skies. Major airlines raising prices and fees, even slashing flights. Spirit struggles so severe, the carrier is nearing a $500 million rescue deal from the federal government. Just ahead, what we're learning about the potential bailout and what all of it means for your summer vacations. Stranded. 7 tourists clinging to the side of a steep cliff for hours, just feet from those raging waves below. Emergency crews braving dangerous conditions to bring them to safety. We'll take you inside the life-saving rescue. All that, plus, on the clock, the NFL draft kicking off in Pittsburgh just hours from now. So, we'll get you ready for one of the league's biggest events of the year. Meanwhile, in baseball...
Right back, and it is caught, no, it's in his shirt.
One of the wildest plays you'll ever see.
At 108 miles an hour, right between the buttons.
And paging Dr. Robbie.
Well, I'm trying to protect you and my patients.
He's the Emmy-winning star of one of TV's biggest hits.
Is this where you trying to talk me out of going?
And this morning, Noah Wiley stepping out of the pit and making a house call right here to Studio 1A. Today, Thursday, April 23rd, 2026.
From NBC News, this is Today with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin. From Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And a very good morning to you. Welcome to Today. Thank you so much for starting your Thursday with us. We are quite excited about this house call.
We are very, very happy. Noah Wiley will be here. Dr. Robbie from the pit. Do you know it's been since 2009?
Wow.
The ER series finale since Noah Wiley has been here in Studio 1A.
He hadn't been here in 16 years. That's a long time.
I know,
That's
so we cannot wait to catch. We got a few things to talk about.
You're caught up with seasons 2.
Yeah, I'm caught up.
I'm only 4 episodes in, so you're going to do your best.
No spoilers.
Thank you.
But you need to get down to business.
I do. Speaking of getting down to business, let's get right to that top story. Those massive wildfires raging across the southeast this morning. A state of emergency now declared in Georgia, where thousands of acres are burning right now, forcing evacuations and closures.
Dozens of homes have already been destroyed, hundreds more now at risk, and drought conditions across the region are making it tough for first responders trying to fight those flames.
Al's going to have a closer look at the forecast in just a moment, but we are going to start with NBC's Aaron Gilchrist. He has made his way to Waynesville, Georgia overnight. Aaron, good morning.
Hey, Craig, good morning to you. We know that officials have locked down the fire zone here, even pushing us farther away this morning. They told many people to get out after the fire here grew more than 7 times bigger in just a single day. Since last week, more than 90 wildfires have started across this state, and that's led to a total ban on burning anything outdoors. This morning, wildfire season in the southeast, with flames raging across multiple states, forcing evacuation orders and destroying dozens of homes.
It is burning.
A state of emergency in Georgia, where fire quickly spread in the southern part of the state. Smoke and haze even reaching hundreds of miles away to Atlanta. Georgia issuing its first ever burn ban.
All of Georgia is in a severe drought right now.
In Brantley County, one fire decimating 5,000 acres.
This is very dynamic, very fluid, so it's moving and the threat moves with it.
Some returning to their homes to find nothing but devastation.
Yeah, all their stuff's gone. Lucky's. That's her mama's home right there.
Isaac Wilcox tried to save his aunt's neighbor's house.
I was spraying it as much as I could, and then I just threw the water hose on top of it and then ran because it was bad.
Officials saying more than 50 homes have burned and 1,000 more are at risk. What's your message to people who may be hesitant to get out?
We cannot force these folks to leave even though we give a mandatory evacuation. It's a very serious situation where we have citizens that are in harm. Fortunately, so far, when it's gotten really hot, they've left.
Crews battling low visibility from thick plumes of smoke as firefighters work toward containment from the ground and sky. The situation is bad in neighboring northern Florida, too, with over 100 wildfires and crews working to contain the flames. Now, back here in Georgia, we understand that there had been crews all night back deep in the woods here in the swamp areas as well, fighting the fire. We understand the containment right now is between 10 and 15%. Fire officials are expected to give us another update here later this morning. The hope, Craig, has been that the wind stayed calm enough that it didn't cause this fire to spread even more. Craig?
All right, let's hope Aaron Gook is starting us off there in Georgia. Aaron, thank you.
All right, we want to bring in Al, who's got his eyes on this fire danger. Al, good morning.
Yes, right, guys. In fact, not only do we have fire danger, but we've got severe weather over the next 5 days. So drought. More than 20 to 30 inches of rain deficit throughout much of this region. And you can see the acreage spreads from the panhandle of Florida all the way into southern Georgia. For today, that poor air quality is going to be a big problem along with the fires as that smoke spreads to the north and to the west. You can see the air quality really unhealthy in Augusta, Columbia, Albany, Georgia, Atlanta, Birmingham, Alabama. Uncomfortable and unhealthy air. Now, as far as severe weather is concerned, we have had a very active tornado season, but it's really been active in the Midwest. 476 tornadoes reported, 120% of the 17-year average showing up. Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, all way above average as far as tornadoes are concerned. But then you go to the more specific tornado areas that we usually see the heavier tornadoes. They are well below average from Texas into the southeast and the mid-plains. That is about to change big time. We've got 5 days in a row of severe weather, starting with today. We are going to be looking at an active area, especially in central Kansas, where we could be looking 12 million people at risk. Strong tornadoes, especially nocturnal ones. Tomorrow, more damage. Little Rock, Grenada, Shreveport, Texarkana for severe weather. Then Saturday, an enhanced risk for much of Oklahoma into Kansas for 7 million people. And we move into Sunday, another enhanced risk, Oklahoma City to Wichita. Monday could be the strongest outbreak we see from St. Louis, Quincy, Paducah. We're talking tornadoes possible. This could be a really bad tornado outbreak by the time we get to Monday. Craig?
All right, I will come back to you in just a few moments. Meanwhile, we turn now to the war with Iran and the escalating standoff in the Strait of Hormuz that's impacting the push for peace. Iran attacking and seizing several ships as the U.S. presses on with its blockade of Iranian ports amid a sudden leadership change at the top of the Navy. We have two reports for you this morning. We'll start with NBC's Molly Hunter. She is in Jerusalem. Molly, good morning.
Craig, good morning to you. That's right. So Iran is flexing its control over the Strait of Hormuz this morning, claiming to have collected its first tolls from ships transiting. Meanwhile, a meeting between Pakistani and U.S. officials apparently saw, quote, positive progress, but there are no public signs that negotiations are imminent.
This morning, the battle continues for control over the Strait of Hormuz while President Trump still pushes for a deal. After Iranian media published this highly produced video that it claimed showed the interception and seizure of 2 cargo ships, tracking a speedboat flying the Iranian flag, commandos in masks scaling the ship with a ladder and boarding it. The White House saying the attacks don't violate the president's newly extended ceasefire and don't threaten his blockade.
These were not U.S. ships. These were not Israeli ships. These were 2 international vessels. They don't have control over the strait. This is piracy that we are seeing on display.
Overnight, CENTCOM announcing they've turned back 31 ships as part of the U.S. naval blockade imposed by President Trump. But as long as it remains in place, Iranian officials say they won't negotiate. The Iranian president posting overnight, bad faith, siege, and threats are the main obstacles to genuine negotiation. But President Trump has given no timeline for his ceasefire extension. telling Fox News yesterday there was, quote, no time pressure around the ceasefire or setting a date for new talks, and, quote, no time frame to bring the war to an end. The Trump administration also not giving a clear answer on when Americans may see some relief from those high gas prices driven up by the war. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent grilled on Capitol Hill yesterday about when prices, now averaging over $4 a gallon, may go down.
That is path dependent on when the war and the conflict end.
As the conflict, now centering over the world's major oil passageway, continues.
Now, also in Washington today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is hosting the second round of direct talks between Israel and Lebanon. The Lebanese president has outlined his top goal for those talks, that is, Israeli troops completely withdrawing from southern Lebanon. Craig?
All right, Molly Hunter for us there in Jerusalem. Molly, thank you.
Also this morning, there are concerns over a surprise shakeup at the Pentagon and its impact on the war. U.S. Navy Secretary John Phelan ousted from his position effective immediately. NBC's senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez picks up that part of the story. Gabe, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. This is the latest in a string of firings at the Pentagon, and it came as a surprise to many in Congress. Now, multiple sources say tensions had been mounting between John Phelan and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth well before the war. With a fragile ceasefire in place and with the U.S. enforcing a naval blockade of Iranian ports, this morning Navy Secretary John Phelan is out, effective immediately. A Pentagon spokesman adding, "We wish him well in his future endeavors."
It's an honor to sit before you as the nominee for Secretary of the Navy.
Before taking the job just 13 months ago, Phelan was a Florida businessman and a major donor to President Trump's campaigns. He had never served in the military. This past December, he appeared with the president at Mar-a-Lago to announce a new class of battleships bearing Trump's name.
John Phelan is one of the most successful businessmen in the country, in our country. It's been a tremendous success.
Overnight, NBC News learned tensions between Phelan and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth had been mounting, according to multiple sources familiar with the relationship. The approach Phelan was taking when it came to shipbuilding appears to have been the main reason for the firing, multiple sources say. A senior administration official telling NBC News President Trump and Secretary Hegseth agreed new leadership at the Navy is needed. Replacing him as acting head of the Navy will be Undersecretary Hung Kao, a combat veteran who ran unsuccessful campaigns for the House and Senate in Virginia. It's the latest shakeup at the Pentagon, coming just weeks after Hegseth forced out the Army's top uniformed officer and two other Army generals.
This creates a real chilling effect in our military, and it's downright dangerous to be doing this in the middle of a war.
Three people familiar with the matter say that Phelan did not know he was being fired until he saw a social media post from the Pentagon spokesman announcing his departure. But a senior administration official says Phelan was notified ahead of time. We reached out to him for comment, and his representatives referred us to the Pentagon. Savannah.
Gabe Gutierrez at the White House. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the nation's top health official, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is once again facing tough questions from lawmakers. Senators grilling him over his policies, especially when it comes to vaccines and the administration's response to that alarming measles outbreak. NBC's Ann Thompson joins us with more on this. Ann, good morning.
Good morning, Craig. This was Kennedy's 7th hearing in 4 days. The topic was supposed to be the Health and Human Services budget, but on the final day of this marathon, Kennedy, a well-known vaccine skeptic, faced more questions about measles and the growing epidemic more than 25 years after the disease was said to be eliminated in this country.
Every Democrat in this committee, all they wanted to do was talk about measles.
With the nation in its second year of a measles outbreak, 1,700 cases and counting this year alone, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle pummeled HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. with questions about the spread and the vaccine that can stop it.
Can you please tell us here today what you're going to do to reduce the number of measles cases and improve the MMR vaccination rate?
Improve the MMR. We promote the MMR. We advise every child to get the MMR. That's what we do.
A change from the man who for years sowed doubts about vaccines.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
While some Republicans defended the secretary,
we would not be on the right side of this outbreak
without your leadership.
Others concerned about Kennedy's vaccine stances, particularly as millions from around the world are expected in the U.S. this summer for the World Cup.
I am a guy who has seen people die from vaccine-preventable diseases.
Republican Senator Bill Cassidy is a doctor and frequent Kennedy critic.
Tourists from all over the world will come to the United States. Unfortunately, some of them will bring vaccine-preventable diseases like measles. And unfortunately, our measles immunization rates have fallen.
We are laser focused on that. We have booths and testing booths and institutions all over the games.
And Kennedy endorsed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's decision to no longer require the flu vaccine for U.S. troops.
Secretary Hegseth was just recognizing that these soldiers being sent over to fight for our freedoms and that they should have some freedom too.
Since becoming health secretary, Kennedy has been focused on ultra-processed foods. Senator Bernie Sanders asked RFK Jr. if he would be in favor of banning so-called junk food ads on TV, similar to when Congress banned tobacco ads back in the 70s. Kennedy suggested he could support such a move, but also seemed to imply he'd prefer that it would be voluntary.
Okay.
What would that do to Super Bowl commercials?
I know, it would be out of luck.
All right, a lot of dead air. Thank you so much. All right, now to a heart-stopping rescue in Australia. 7 tourists, including 3 children, were hiking around the edge of the water on the country's southeast coast when they became trapped by the high tide. And look at this. They managed to climb up that rocky cliff to a thin ledge, and that is where they huddled for 3 hours. Oh. Rescue crews were rushing to help them. They had to pull them each to safety one by one. They managed to do it. Officials calling this ordeal a dangerously close call. They say had the waves gone just a foot higher, the group likely would have been pulled right into the sea.
Jeez.
I mean, just incredible courage of those rescuers.
You're lucky to be alive for sure. All right. Mr. Roker is back today. Good to see your smiling face, sir.
Right. Good to see you guys, and good morning. And along the East Coast, fabulous day. Sunshine, temperatures much more mild. Severe storms, though, in the midsection of the country. That fire risk also stretches out west. We're looking for some snowy conditions as we make our way into the western plains, and plenty of sunshine along our west coast. We're going to get to your local forecast coming up in the next 30 seconds.
Right back, and it is caught. No, it's in his shirt. Logan Gilbert wore that one.
Look at that.
Hey,
that doesn't happen every day.
Slow-mo. Hold on a second.
The ball went in his jersey.
Yep.
Does that count?
Well,
It's a dead ball, I think.
No, keep reading.
Wait, okay. Oh, keep reading. Oh, good. See, these scripts, when you don't prepare, you don't know what's coming. All right, the line drive landed directly in Logan Gilbert's jersey. It took him a second to figure it out. And by the way, that was technically not considered a catch. See, it's new to me, too. The rule book says when the ball goes inside a player's uniform, it's a dead ball. Yeah. And so the batter got a base hit. I mean, that's pretty cool, though.
You don't see that every day.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen that.
Why doesn't it count? I think it should.
Well, I mean,
like it's like a body
really
block.
He's got to play it because by no fault of his own, it's difficult to play, to grab it and throw it to first.
That's true, but it would have been an out.
You also got to remember that pitch is at least 100 miles an hour.
Right.
And it's coming out. I mean, the fact that he didn't get something broken, too, is pretty remarkable.
So, just glad it was there, not anywhere else.
Base hit. All right, guys. Meanwhile, the summer travel season just around the corner. And if you haven't booked those flights yet, it looks like you might be shelling out even more.
One reason, the soaring cost of jet fuel. It's led a number of airlines to increase their prices, and it's also adding to some problems for a popular discount carrier who is now eyeing a government bailout.
And NBC's business correspondent Brian Chung is here with everything we need to know about all these moving parts. Hi, Brian.
Hey, good morning, team. For weeks now, we've seen many airlines raising bag fees, cutting flights from their schedules, and now the Trump administration may come to the rescue of one carrier that's struggling to overcome financial hurdles, a move that could bring relief to consumers but cost taxpayers.
Flight prices right now are crazy.
This spring, passengers are fed up with soaring prices as airlines raise flight costs and fees ahead of the summer travel season.
And apparently, they're only going to get higher from here on out.
Just this week, United CEO confirming price increases are here to stay.
I think this is probably the new normal for airfares.
Other carriers in the industry doing the same. In addition to United, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, and Alaska Airlines have already raised fees for checked bags. And some of those airlines are cutting flights from their schedule as well. It's all a result of the ongoing war in Iran, as oil tankers blockaded in the Strait of Hormuz continue to strangle global supplies, causing jet fuel prices to spike and companies to pass those higher costs onto consumers.
We're looking at more than 10% fare increases summer over summer. So I'm really concerned that this is going to get worse.
But one company struggling more than others, Spirit Airlines. The Trump administration is working on a rescue deal to help the struggling budget airline. While not finalized, a source familiar with the matter telling NBC News the deal would provide $500 million to help the airline emerge from bankruptcy and deal with elevated fuel costs. And once it does, that same source says the U.S. government could own up to 90% of the airline.
Is that going to be good or bad for the prices that consumers pay for flying?
I think this is good news because anytime you have a low-cost carrier in the market, your average airfare is going to be lower. I'm not sure this is such a great deal for the U.S. taxpayer. We could see a sort of a conga line of airlines going to the government now and saying, hey, jet fuel prices are high, we need to bail out as well.
So if you were thinking about booking a trip with Spirit, or let's say you're holding a ticket with Spirit, what do you do?
Yeah, that's the question for travelers that might have those summer plans. We should point out first that we did reach out to Spirit Airlines about this potential bailout. They declined to comment, but they did mention it's business as usual and said, quote, guests can continue to book travel and use tickets. As for people that do have the tickets, first off, wait for that flight to get canceled first. That's going to give you more options for refunds first. And then secondly, try to buy any tickets that you might be planning coming down the pike with a credit card that has protection. In many cases, those credit cards will say if you bought a plane ticket, let's say it's a travel card, and it's canceled for, let's say, bankruptcy, God forbid, that it would actually be covered under that policy and you would potentially be refunded.
Help us, just really quickly, help us understand why the government would actually consider bailing out Spirit Airlines in particular.
Yeah, well, I think the talking point is that as the low-cost carrier, they're the ones that are competing with Delta, United, all these other companies in terms of pricing. So maybe the government's thinking is that if you bail out Spirit, well, then you would have consumers benefiting from those lower prices. But of course, if one company goes and asks for the government's help, will there be other airlines that do so as well? I think that's the natural question.
Yeah, and taxpayers pay the bill for the bailout. So
Thanks,
you're going to get it one way or the other. Coming or going. Brian, thank you very much.
All right, guys, just ahead, celebrating 20 years of Spotify. An exclusive peek at the music service most streamed songs and artists of all time.
All right, see Daily, buckle up. It's going to be a big night for your Raiders. Big night. Raiders almost on the clock. NFL draft kicking off just a few hours from now. Katie Hartung bringing us inside the excitement of players and fans.
Yeah, a big night ahead for the Raiders with that #1 pick. No surprises expected there as they tap the Heisman winner as their quarterback of the future. But after that, drama is sure to follow. So we'll get you primed for countdown to your team being on the clock right after this.
We're back 7:38 in depth this morning. One of the most celebrated events of the entire year on the NFL calendar.
A new era starts tonight for the Raiders.
Raiders fans.
Does it?
Draft kicks off in Pittsburgh. That is later tonight, of course. It's a party for players, teams, and fans. By the way, this thing seems to just get bigger and bigger and more elaborate every year.
Hope springs eternal. NBC's Kaylee Hartung here with a look at what we can all expect. Hey, Kaylee.
Hey, guys, don't rain on Carson's parade this early. Please don't. I love Hope is alive. You know, from Commissioner Goodell's commitment to get each pronunciation just right to all those frenzied fans welcoming their team's newest stars, today is a day that the football world looks forward to all year. Yes, this is really just a reading of names on a stage. But for those young men called and the hope that they represent for all 32 franchises, the NFL draft is pure theater and anything can happen.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.
Tonight, the NFL is on the clock as childhood dreams become reality for a new generation of hopeful stars.
Touchdown!
The 2026 NFL Draft class, headlined by Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. Since leading Indiana University to its first national championship, the quarterback is widely considered a lock for the Raiders' #1 pick.
They are ready for this. They have built the team around him in free agency, spending hundreds and hundreds of $1 million just to make sure that this is a situation where the quarterback can come in and be successful.
Just as the NFL continues to build the draft around fans. Taking the show on the road for an 11th year. Record-breaking crowds gathering in Nashville, Detroit,
I am home.
And now an estimated 700,000 people expected to descend on Pittsburgh for 3 days of draft festivities and excitement. Other top prospects include Ohio State defensive stars Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, and Notre Dame's dynamic running back Jeremiah Love. while fans will surely see their share of fist pumps and bear hugs, stylish suits, and sentimental moments, they'll likely have to wait until at least the second pick to see an in-person celebration. Mendoza opting to stay home in Miami to make the experience easier on his family, particularly his mother Elsa, who's battling multiple sclerosis. Just days after hoisting the national championship trophy, Mendoza telling Craig on Today what an inspirational role she's played in his journey.
Your mother has been living with MS, multiple sclerosis, for a long time now, but she's the light of your family.
She's the light of my family, the optimistic person that always makes sure that I have a smile on my face. And like you said, I've been an underdog. However, my mom has never let me think that way.
The Mendoza family, just one of the 257, waiting for the phone call that will change their lives forever.
And as each franchise works overtime to get their draft boards in order, Patriots coach Mike Vrabel says he will not be with the team for the final day of the draft. Following the published photos of him with former Athletic reporter Diana Rossini, Vrabel says he will begin counseling this weekend in order to give his family, the organization, and the team the best version of himself, guys.
Let's turn back to the draft for just a moment here, Kaylee. Other players, I mean, obviously the top pick not going to be a surprise to anyone, but other players that you've got your eye on.
So let me give you a couple of stories. Guys you want to root for. So Casey Concepcion, he's arguably the best wide receiver in this draft. This guy can cook on and off the field. A kid who grew up loving to make his family breakfast in bed, turn that into inviting his teammates at Texas A&M over to cook. And let me tell you, they were very surprised and pleased with the soul food that they got, the fried chicken, the mac and cheese. He can't wait to do it for his NFL team. Expect him to be a round one, maybe two guy.
Just for that.
Just for that. I mean, there might need to be a talk with the team nutritionist about, you know, the amount of soul food that's getting cooked, but still, nevertheless.
Concepcion.
And then a good one, guys, linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. He's out of Texas Tech. He and his wife, Emma, are both getting ready for new job assignments. She is an Army Black Hawk helicopter pilot.
Rock star.
About to be deployed. These two say, just like any military spouses, they will prioritize communication while she is away and try to do the best they can to support each other.
I love about the draft, the backstories that you get like that.
Yeah, they do a good job of that.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
thank you.
All right,
Kaylee,
big night,
thank
guys.
you.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much. Good luck to
May
us.
the odds
We
be
need
ever
it.
in your favor.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Roker, what you got?
All right, guys, we're looking at temperatures today. We've got a couple low pressure systems both ends of the country, but you can see we've got a nice bubble of warm air with that jet stream up to the north. Cleveland today, 74 degrees. Memphis, 84. Raleigh, you're going to see temperatures 86. Minneapolis into the 70s tomorrow. Richmond, you're going to be nice and warm into the mid-80s. Charlotte as well. Birmingham, 84 degrees, above average temperatures. Then temperatures start to moderate a bit. Portland, you'll be in the mid-50s by the weekend. Low 60s here in New York City. Mid-60s in Detroit. Now west, temperatures staying cool. San Francisco, low 60s. Provo, Utah in the mid-50s to about 60 degrees. Even Flagstaff, Arizona, temperatures in the 50s toward the weekend. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. That's your latest weather. Hashtag PSSP.
All right, believe it or not, today marks Spotify's 20th anniversary, and to celebrate that, they are giving us an exclusive sneak peek as to their top 20 greatest lists of all time. So for time, we're going to count down Spotify's 5 most streamed songs ever. Okay, so we'll start at 5, and it's this Harry Styles hit.
No, it's not the same as it was, as it was, as it was.
All right, a little taste of that one. It was a big hit when it came out. Checking out Harry's solo effort there, As It Was. Next up, The Weeknd and Daft Punk, Starboy.
Oh.
Never heard this song.
No?
Yes.
Never.
It's a big song. You probably have on the radio.
Yeah.
Out of it.
We played one gazillion times. All right, how about number 3, Savannah? Have you ever heard this? This one you might not have heard. This is from The Neighborhood. Number 3, that was going back to 2012. That was big on the charts, called Sweater Weather by The Neighborhood.
Wow.
Okay.
Number 3. Billions of streams, that's all right, coming in number 2. We've got, have you heard of this guy, Ed Sheeran?
Yes, yeah.
I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body.
All right, Shape Shape of You, a popular favorite. That's Ed's. That's from his Divide album. And the most streamed song ever. Here we go.
Song?
Yeah, it should be.
Ever? Yeah. Wow. Blinding Lights. That's another one from the weekend. That has been listened to on Spotify 5.4 billion times just on their platform alone. So that is a monster streaming
I can't believe Spotify's 20 years old. I still think of it as that new streaming service.
I know.
I'm stunned, though, that Taylor's not in the top.
Well, let's run through the Spotify's most played artists. Okay, not songs, but artists. Top 5 include Ariana Grande. Right?
Yeah.
The Weeknd, obviously, has got two of the top 5 in the songs. Drake. Bad Bunny, which is in Super Bowl.
Of course.
Number 1.
Okay.
Gotta be my girl.
Yeah,
Come on.
We all know.
Come on.
Here we go.
Okay.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time, everybody agrees.
All right, no surprise there. Taylor Swift, of course. You can find the full lineup celebrating 20 years of Spotify over at today.com.
I am personally responsible for like 1 billion of her streams.
Yes. Oh, I know.
Tomorrow, can you give us the top 5 stream songs ever from Napster? Can you give us the Napster top 5?
Napster. Throwback. All right, more pop start where that came from. But first, a must-see morning boost to start your day off right after this.
The first story.
All right, time for the boost. Craig, you're going to do it for Jenna this morning?
I'll try to do it proud. All right, so in honor of Take Your Kid to Work Day, here's a group of kiddos going viral for their hilarious answers to what they think mom and dad do for a living.
My mommy and dad work because they have meetings.
Oh, what does your dad do?
He has meetings.
I'm an art director and a visual designer.
And I'm a UI designer.
My mommy works on the computer all day long.
My name's Andrea Rodriguez. I am Ezekiel's mom, and I am a medical biller.
He works for me.
My daughter is Annalisa, and I'm a math professor at Cal State Fullerton.
What do you think your mom does for work?
That's pretty cool.
Social media.
That's by the way, did you
love when they
she said social media.
I like that.
Yeah.
She's still on Instagram.
Yeah, she's like, she doom scrolls professionally,
That's great.
like all of us.
Good stuff there. All right, guys. And there are some kids around here, too, which is always great to see.
We're actually going to
we'll turn the cameras around coming up a little bit.
I think Delano Melvin is in the control room.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
He was earlier.
Oh, cool.
We've been talking.
Okay, awesome.
What good could come from that?
All right, Savannah, we're about to make your day because coming up on Pop Star, we're going to be checking out a brand new song, hot off the presses from Duran Duran. One of your favorites of all time. If that's not enough, we've got Noah Wiley from The Pit here live after your local news.
It's 8 o'clock on Today. Coming up in flames this morning. New wildfires raging across parts of the South, destroying homes and forcing thousands to evacuate.
I was spraying it as much as I could, and then I just threw the water hose on top of it and then ran because it was bad.
We're live with the very latest. Then, the doctor is in.
Welcome to The Pit.
The one and only Noah Wiley, live here in Studio 1A. The Pit star will tell us all about that season finale that everyone's talking about and what could be next for his hit show. And just in time.
Now that you mention it, I would like to come back into work just a little bit, just to help out.
Justin Thoreau spilling all the details on a new season of Running Point and The Devil Wears Prada 2. All that plus good news for Harry Styles fans.
My friends are in love with American girls.
Miami Vice is back.
How much time we got?
And Will Forte goes loony.
Have you been horribly injured by a product made by the Acme Corporation? It's not your fault.
Today, Thursday, April 23rd, 2026.
Our senior trip from West Liberty Salem High School in Ohio.
Celebrating my 60th.
Visiting from Corpus Christi, Texas. Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Gloucester, Virginia.
Owen, Missouri.
Stockton, California.
And Hudson, Massachusetts.
Good morning to our wives in Charleston, South Carolina.
It's our first time in New York.
Shout out to our teachers. Hi, Mr. Williams.
Hi, Mrs. Tucker. Happy Bring Your Kids to Work Day!
Yes, happy Bring Your Kids to Work Day. Welcome back to today. So happy that you're starting your Thursday morning off with us. Great weather outside. Going to get outside, say hello to some of those folks in just a few minutes.
Yeah, morning, everybody. Good to have you along.
All right, let's get right to your news at 8 o'clock. We're going to begin with those wildfires burning out of control across parts of the southeast. In Georgia, dozens of homes have already been destroyed by the wind-fueled flames. NBC's Aaron Gilchrist has made his way to Waynesville, Georgia. He's got the very latest from there. Aaron, good morning.
Hey, Craig, good morning. There is still very much an active firefight going on right now. We're being kept a couple of miles away from the heavily wooded area where we know crews are working among properties that are spread out in this area. There's real concern about this fire continuing to grow. We know it grew from 700 acres to nearly 5,000 acres in less than a day's time. There have been 54 homes that have been destroyed so far. 1,000 more are threatened by the fire that's moving through this area. And officials are telling people that they need to stay out of these evacuation zones that have been created so far here. And it's not just here in Brantley County, Georgia. This is a regional problem. There have been more than 90 wildfires in the last week or so across different parts of Georgia. In a county neighboring here, we know that there's a 16,000 acre fire that's burning. You go across the state line into northern Florida. They're dealing with more than 100 wildfires there as well. In the Jacksonville area, there's one large fire where they feel like they're starting to get the upper hand. But the real concern here, Craig, moving forward is that we are in extreme drought conditions in this region right now. In the forecast, there's maybe a little bit of rain that could come this weekend. That is expected to be somewhat helpful, but officials are really hoping that the winds continue to cooperate as they did overnight so that the fires that they're currently dealing with don't grow beyond what they can handle here, Craig.
All right, Aaron Gilchrist there from Georgia. Aaron, thank you.
And that brings us to Al Roker, who's got his eye on these fires.
Yeah, guys, good morning. As you can see, a very widespread area of different acreages, but it's a big problem because, as Aaron mentioned, we've got this wildfire smoke. We've got a deficit of anywhere from 20 to 30 inches of rain. They really need that. That poor air quality stretches all the way into Alabama, on into the Carolinas. So it's going to be a rough couple of days as far as that air quality and that wildfire smoke is concerned. Also, severe weather is going to be a big problem. For today, from Minneapolis all the way down to Wichita, 12 million people at risk, gusty winds, nocturnal tornadoes possible. Tomorrow, 6 million people from Little Rock down to Shreveport, Jackson. We've got the risk of severe weather. We move into Saturday, an enhanced risk from Wichita, Oklahoma City, Fayetteville, damaging winds. Again, strong tornadoes. More of the same on Sunday, just about the same area for 12 million people. And the worst of the bunch could be on Monday from St. Louis, Quincy, Poplar Bluffs. We could be looking at very strong tornadoes. There are indications we could be looking at a tornado outbreak by Monday for 39 million people.
Oh, wow.
Guys.
Okay, I will come back to you in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, we turn now to the war with Iran and escalating tensions in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran seizing several ships as the U.S. presses on with its blockade of Iranian ports. NBC's Molly Hunter is in Jerusalem with the very latest on that. Molly, good morning.
Craig, good morning to you. That's right. Iran is flexing its might in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. They have attacked and targeted at least 3 cargo ships this week, saying that they have seized 2. And take a look at this video. Very slick, very highly produced video released by Iranian state media that they claim shows Iranian commandos boarding one of those cargo ships. Now, Craig, both Iran and the U.S. are using this vital waterway as leverage. The U.S. says they will continue their U.S. naval blockade. They have said they have turned around at least 31 cargo ships so far. Meanwhile, Iranian officials say they won't negotiate until the U.S. lifts that blockade. Meanwhile, President Trump has given no timeline for the ceasefire extension. In fact, telling Fox News yesterday there is, quote, no time pressure for setting a new date for those talks. Craig?
Molly Hunter for us there in Jerusalem. Molly, thank you. Quick programming note here. The next NBC News Common Ground live event is happening later today. It's all about issues that unite Americans And also, it's about finding solutions. It's going to feature some influential leaders from Washington, NASA, and the world of sports. And you can stream it all at 4 Eastern on NBCNews.com.
All right, and now to a tense standoff between a hiker and a bear. It happened on a trail outside Los Angeles, and cell phone video captured it. This is some heart-stopping stuff right here. The hiker appears to walk toward the bear, making noise with bells in an attempt to scare it off, but the noise seems to agitate the bear, and you see it charging toward the hiker instead. Well, guess what? She stopped rolling, I guess. The moments that followed were not captured on video, but thankfully the hiker successfully walked away from the bear and got away unharmed.
So many questions. So many questions.
I guess don't ring bells at
Don't
bears.
ring bells. And the person who was shooting the video stayed a little too long.
I don't know. Carson has questions.
Oh, I have so many. That is why I don't exercise.
That's why.
That's
want a healthy hike?
That's the takeaway.
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Guys, that's what Craig says every time we have a shark story.
You don't
that's not going to happen to him.
For you.
No.
Never.
We are packed this morning. We've got some bad news for scalpers, which is actually great news if you're a fan of Harry Styles. We'll tell you about that. And a new chance how you can grab some tickets to his much sought-after tour.
All right, but first, fresh off the season finale that everybody is still talking about, we are chatting live with the Pit's Dr. Robbie himself, Emmy winner. Noah Wiley is here. Guys, my BP's 200. I'm tachycardic. Get the paddles out. Dr. Robbie is here right after this. Let's go. Well, the doctor is in because we are back with Noah Wiley. He's been winning over audiences as one of TV's favorite doctors for literally decades. First, we remember him as John Carter on ER, and now, of course, he is leading HBO Max's certified hit, The Pit. He has scooped up a couple of Emmys along the way, a Golden Globe, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and last week, Noah wrapped up season 2 with that emotional finale, revealing Dr. Robbie may have finally reached his breaking point. Take a look.
You know how they say that a part of you dies when you lose someone you love? I'm not convinced that a part of you doesn't die every time you see a fellow human pass. And I've seen so many people die that I feel like it's leaching something from my soul. Go on a cruise, man.
Noah, good morning. All right, before we get to everything, please tell me, did he go on a cruise, like a Disney cruise? Is he going to be okay?
He goes on a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
wouldn't
what
expect
happens,
that
right?
to happen, but he and Baby J. Doe just take off on that Disney cruise together.
Don't joke about that.
I know, you shouldn't talk.
No, I have this whole fantasy that Dr. Robbie adopts Baby Jane Doe. Is the writer's room taking any, ideas right now?
It has been told to us that a baby is not a life preserver.
Okay. Yes, it's true.
You should not throw a drowning man a baby and hope everything will work out.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm not in this business.
We will touch on Baby Jane Doe in season 3, but whether or not that's a match made in heaven is yet to be determined.
Let's talk about this rocket ship. I mean, there's Artemis 2, and then there's The Pit. You have 15 million views per average per season. You've doubled your audience. It's up 50% since last season. The Hollywood Walk of Fame. You won every award that could be won. You have won. Are you just marveling at this?
This has been a pinch me experience from the jump, and the most incredible and validating year of my life. And there's a photograph of the Walk of Fame ceremony. I got to be there with my children and my parents and friends from just about every decade of my life. It was incredibly rewarding, and I'm extremely grateful.
I mean, there are a lot of medical shows. What do you think it is about The Pit that has clicked?
I think it's come at the right time. I think people right now are thirsty to tune in and watch people be heroic and good at their jobs. And more than that, be engaged in work that has meaning and a sense of give back to it. I think it's a lighthouse show for a lot of people right now. And it's really, it's honoring these people that are in these jobs and have been in these jobs since COVID unceasingly and need the spotlight back on them. And I think that it's a good time to remember that these people pick up our broken pieces all the time. And very few of them are seeking out the resources that they need after they take in and on all that we dish out.
I was also thinking that the ER is the perfect gateway to any human story you want to tell.
It's kind of perfect because everything ends up there eventually.
One day,
and
it's like, it's not separated by race, class, anything. Every story can come through those doors.
One of the few places nobody checks that stuff. They just, you show up with a need and they're there to treat it.
Well, speaking of a story arc, I mean, if there were a script of your life, this would be a pretty neat story arc. You were Dr. John Carter on ER, this overnight success as a young man, and 30 years later, here you are with the success in the pit. Were there were those wilderness years in between? Like, how do you look at this journey and how it's unfolded?
Well, any life, any career is going to have ups and downs to it. And when you're having it up, you want it to last as long as possible. When you're having it down, you want it to be over as quickly as possible. That so often isn't the case. But, you know, I keep thinking about my kids this year and how great it is for them to get to see that you just keep showing up, you just keep doing your thing, and it does come around again. And if you're ready and you're prepared, you know, you get to make the most of those opportunities when they come.
Well, you know, we had to do it. We had to look in the archives because, of course, ER was on NBC.
Yes.
This is the first time you were on the Today Show, 1994. Let's roll it.
I hung out a lot with some real emergency room doctors and did a lot of reading. A lot of reading. I have a stack of medical texts like that high that I pour over. It's pretty interesting stuff, actually.
Okay, step aside, baby Jane Doe. This is baby Noah Wiley.
Jane Doe, oh my God. Oh,
remember
that leather
guy?
jacket. I remember that leather jacket. I wore that all the time.
Yeah, that was your look.
That was my kind of thing. Yeah, that and a big earring. Yeah, hey kid. Look at us now.
I know, look at us now. How about that?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I just saw Al on my way, and I was like, look, Al, they haven't caught us yet.
No. I'm going to say, like, Al, you were here probably then, 1994?
Actually, I was there when they did the live show from Los Angeles.
We go way back.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible. Okay, we got to give the people what they want. Let's talk about the show.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, it's known for how realistic it is, not just the richness of the characters, but like the props, the lingos, the set. Has there been anything that's like grossed you out? Because I got to tell you, you've grossed me out a lot.
Grossed me out? No, I get really into that stuff, and I'm just sort of amazed at what our amazing prosthetic makeup department can come up with. It's so photorealistic that basically everything that I say I'm doing at any given time, I'm actually doing, including that delivery that we did in the finale, that cesarean section. Was one of the most amazing engineering things I've ever seen.
As someone who's had 2 C-sections, I don't know that I needed to see that.
No?
No, I mean, it was incredible, but also,
My wife had a C-section, and you know, they tell you don't peek over the curtain. I couldn't resist. I had to look over the curtain.
See, because this goes to my next question, because I think you're like an honorary doctor at this point. Like, do you feel that if we had a medical emergency, could you be called into service?
Not with great results, but like incredible enthuziasm.
Yes, exactly.
I will jump in and really look like I'm trying to do something.
I was going to say confidence, right?
Confidence may fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the lingo is so, dense and the jargon, but at this point between ER and the pit, like if I gave you a vocab test.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's go. Let's scrub in. VFib.
VFib is it's a EKG reading.
Yeah.
It's a heart rate.
Yeah, irregular rhythm of the heart. Okay, what's a STEMI?
A STEMI is very serious. That's an immediate blockage of the artery, and that's a big. You call that overhead.
Yeah.
You've got precious time to get up to the angio.
This is good. How about tachycardia?
Tachycardia is like when you're just really sweaty and your heart's beating super fast.
Me right now, interviewing Noah Wiley.
I'm tachycardic right now. Oh my God.
I'm tacky right now. Somebody put the paddles on me. Okay, let's talk about the season 3.
That's it. I passed.
Well, I have more.
Okay,
do you want more?
No.
Okay, no.
I'd rather talk about season 3.
Challenge accepted. All right, one more. ECMO.
Oh, ECMO. ECMO's an amazing piece of equipment. It's a heart-lung bypass machine.
It is.
And it's the piece of equipment that I took my mentor off of during COVID, which is all embedded into Robbie's backstory.
Okay,
so it's a very triggering one for me.
I know it is.
Let's move on. Let's move on to season 3.
I know. Let's do. All right. Does Dr. Robbie have to be perennially tortured? Can he be happy in season 3?
I think that's a great idea. it's exciting to think of this as sort of a mental health journey that we're watching this man go on, from complete denial to the recognition that he needs help. And I think as the show continues, he'll be making his ascension out of the pit, which will make it a much more pleasant headspace to occupy every day for me.
I know you rejected my baby Jane Doe adoption, but what about a love interest?
Yeah, maybe.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Of course, there's always a chance. There's always a chance for a love interest with a guy like Robbie, but whether it's lasting and committed and intimate, that's the question. We want to get him there.
All right. It's so great to have you here. We're just thrilled for you. You have so many fans here from the get-go, so thank you so much for being here, Noah.
Thank you for being such supporters from the jump.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially Al, 1994. Yeah. A reminder now, no more spoilers. You can watch all episodes of The Pit. They're available to stream on HBO Max. Great to have you here.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Not necessarily Savannah's best time of the morning, but Pop Start.
Come on in, SG. Come on in.
My new
Walk
bestie.
across my
I know.
You crossed during traffic.
I think Noah and I are friends now.
I think so.
That was very cool.
That was really neat.
Here. Very cool.
What a good guy.
There's a game show in there somewhere. I was enjoying the trivia of it all.
It's kind of incredible.
All right, first up, guys, Harry Styles. In just a few months, the Grammy winner is bringing his new music to record-breaking residency he'll be doing here at MSG.
Known you for ages, it's all that I've heard. My friends are in love with American girls.
Harry's new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, is going to take center stage at this upcoming 30-show residency at MSG, and it felt like you were fighting for your life to try and get a ticket. This might be why. Ticketmaster is now saying that they've canceled thousands of illegally obtained tickets. This is good for you. After identifying scalpers who used fake identities and multiple accounts to evade purchase limits.
Take them all down.
In a statement, Ticketmaster said none of the canceled tickets had been transferred to fans, so no legitimate fan accounts were affected. Good for them. Savannah, this one is for you. Overnight, your favorite group, Duran Duran, dropped a brand new single called Free to Love, featuring legendary musician Nile Rodgers. Take a listen.
That's neat.
That sounds very vintage.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've got a history.
It is. They work with Nile Rodgers a lot.
Yeah.
Like
well, he produced Like a Virgin. He produced Bowie's Let's Dance.
He's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So this reminded me that we wanted to just remind everybody of this wonderful moment from our summer concert series of Savannah and the Duran Duran guys.
That was like 13-year-old me just being so happy.
John Taylor. Do you have a poster of John Taylor?
100,000%.
Yeah,
I had a collage.
Oh yeah. Next up, let's get. Okay.
Wait, why is the prompter just reversed?
Okay.
Yeah.
Miami Vice.
How about Miami Vice?
How about it?
Get ready to revisit this crime-fighting magic.
Freeze it! Miami Vice.
Yeah, it's a reboot is officially now in the works called Miami Vice 85. It's going to be bringing back one-of-a-kind South Florida pastel-clad duo made famous by Philip Michael Thomas and Don Johnson, taking over the role, big stars, Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler. Wow. And it's going to be directed by Top Gun director Joseph Kosinski. My friends, that is called The A-Team. That's a hit. That's going to be set to be in theaters next summer. Quickly, off campus, move over heated rivalry. There's a new hockey romance in town. We've got a Pop Start exclusive sneak peek at Prime Video's upcoming series based on the best-selling books, all about an elite college ice hockey team and the ladies in their lives.
So what, I help you study and you play my fake boyfriend to get Justin's attention?
This is the most absolutely unhinged plan and I'm obsessed with it.
5 p.m. Tuesday.
Rehearsal, 7 a.m. Tuesday?
Practice.
This is why I told you I can't help you. Whoa, easy.
We're gonna be fake dating. There needs to be real kissing.
I just met you.
Pretend you like me.
Is he looking?
No. He's looking now.
Steamy. The full trailer is available today.com. It's called Off Campus and it premieres May 13th over on Prime Video. That's your Pop Start today.
That really was great with Noah.
Oh,
yeah, great job.
What a great guy.
How about another star for you?
Okay.
Look who's here.
Who?
Kuma. Kuma's down in the control room, and Kuma brought along her proud owner, Mr. Justin Theroux. We're going to spend some time with both of them.
Bring your child to work day.
After your local news and weather. Who's your baby?
And Eric Levin's cameo.
That's a well-behaved pot.
And we're back with the multi-talented Justin Theroux, who's entertained us for decades with roles in American Psycho, Mulholland Drive, and Beetlejuice. He's also written memorable films like Iron Man 2 and Tropic Thunder. Now he's back on the small screen for season 2 of Running Point. Justin plays the older brother, eyeing a return to the family business of running a professional basketball team in LA. Take a look.
When you say back, you mean back like as in a limited time, like the McRib, or back like for your job?
Oh, God, no. You are the president of the Waves. Me? I'm just a guy who just got out of rehab. But now that you mention it, I would like to come back into work just a little bit, just to help out.
Oh, well, what do I need help with?
I can consult if you have any questions, or maybe you give me a little bit of an office. I can do the Oscar pool.
Oh, come on, Cam. You know Sandy runs the Oscar pool.
Oh, right.
Oh, I love him. I'm so glad he's back in it. We'll get to Cam Gordon in a second. Justin, good to see you, man. How are you?
Great seeing you.
First of all, it's Bring Your Kid to Work Day. We've got children everywhere, and we saw Kuma.
That's right.
Who up until recently really was your child, but now
now I've got to do
now
it.
you've got a real. How is Kuma taking to the newest edition for you and Nicole?
Perfect. She's really perfect. Gentle. Her energy is great.
Kuma goes. I follow Kuma on Instagram.
Kuma goes everywhere. And so she's coming into. I guess I don't know if she's a mother, a sister. I don't know what she is yet.
A sister, I think. Maybe.
Sister, yeah.
How's Nicole doing? By the way, she's one of our favorites around here. We all love Paradise.
She loves you guys, and
send her our best.
I will, absolutely.
What's your favorite part about Parenthood so far?
Oh man, that's like it's so hard to sum that up. But I just love looking into his eyeballs. It's like it's just a wonderful thing. We're in that period now, of course, where it's a lot of just quiet tiptoeing around the house and beautiful and
just watching,
occasional crying and
well, it's awesome. Yeah, it's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk about Cam Gordon. I love Running Point. I love it because it's a lot of your friends will say, "Have you seen this show? It's funny." And you're like, "Yeah, it's funny," but then you watch it and it's really not that funny. It's like, it's clever, it's cute. This show is like rated R funny, laugh out loud funny.
It's hard R at times.
Yeah.
Very funny. It's hilarious. Like my character obviously is a enormous drug addict, so we're doubling down on that.
Right. I read you I don't want him to go to rehab and do better because he's a better character when he's messed up.
He's a better character when he's doing drugs. He's one of those guys who succeeds up the worse his drug problem gets.
Cam's one of 5 siblings who are in charge of the LA Waves, this fictional team. Kate is in charge. This new season, however, you were in like 3 episodes of the season 1, but now you're back and you're out for vengeance here. Yes. Tell us about Cam Gordon in season 2.
Cam Gordon, he's basically just gunning for his job back. Last season was a bit of a cliffhanger. He comes back this season. He's sort of, as you saw in the clip.
He's not straight and sober, though, right? I mean,
he's got a sober minder who is also his drug dealer. So, so he's managed to work that angle.
Perfect. Got to mention Devil Wears Prada too. You played Benji in that. Your good friend Emily Blunt's boyfriend in the movie.
That's right.
But I love that. I know how much you love Emily and how funny she is.
She is one of the funniest women. It's a shame she doesn't do 100% comedies because we would not be disappointed. She's one of the funniest people I know.
I read that when you're acting opposite her, it's hard to keep a straight face. Almost like, Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey when they do drama, because she's funny.
We had that actually. We did Girl in the Train together. We're a very dramatic film where she plays a drunk with a drinking problem. I play a bad guy. But we laughed so hard on that movie. We used to do the scene for the camera, and then we'd sort of have fun, and then we would do the scene the way we wanted to do it, just for giggles, and it would make us laugh very hard.
What was it like to shoot in Italy? And then also to have the great Stanley Tucci, who by all accounts might be...
Stanley Tucci is
the
one
best
of my favorite people on the planet.
Yeah, me too.
At around 5 o'clock in New York, it made more sense in Italy, but also made sense in New York. He'll get out from his director's chair, he'll get out a little martini shaker, and he'll start making martinis and just pouring them and handing them.
This is what he does in real life.
This is what he does in real life, yeah.
We had him here, and he was cooking for us.
Yeah.
And he had a pizza oven, and he gave me the pizza oven when it was done. He was like, here. And at my house, an hour later, was a Stanley Tucci.
You got a Tucci
beautiful
oven.
Pizza oven, and I thought you got to spend a little time there. I know Nicole was with you. You're in Italy. Your days couldn't have been too long shooting Benji scenes.
Yeah, no, it was the dream job. It was literally you work a day, have 5 days off, work a day, have 5 days off. Nicole, who had terrible morning sickness, had just gotten over that.
Perfect timing to be in Italy.
In Milan and Lake Como, and so she was eating her face off. And
just ate your way through it.
Yeah, it was
That's
great.
awesome. Well, you know what? I got a little gift for Akuma here. we thought that, you know, when you have a new addition in your family, what we like to do is give gifts from the baby to the sibling. So that way Kuma will think that the new baby is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So there's some gifts, and you can lie and tell Kuma that they're from the baby.
You want that?
Look at that.
There you go.
Hey, buddy, yeah.
She likes a lamb chop with a basketball, no less. There you go.
Have you noticed? Is there any like jealousy? Have you noticed that sometimes with
No,
kids,
she's
with the
been
dog?
so sweet. She's honestly, she reads the room. She's very tender. We bring him into the room, and she'll just sort of post up near us, keep her eye on the door, and make sure no one comes.
I mean, Kuma does go everywhere with you. Restaurants, traveling.
Yeah, she pretty much goes everywhere.
Well, now you look at baby and Kuma as you're leaving the house and go, I got to pick one or the other?
No, I'll pick my son on.
And maybe take them both.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to see you, brother. All the best to you.
Great seeing you, too.
Congratulations. Appreciate it. You're going to be sticking around for the third hour. We got you putting you to work today. A reminder, season 2 of Running Point is streaming on Netflix. Let's head over to Savannah. Savannah?
All right, guys, thank you. Just ahead, our Shop Today team is about to make your next trip so much easier. Stick around for the winners of their annual travel awards. But first, this is Today on NBC. We're back 8:44 with Shop Today's 4th annual travel awards.
All right, after nearly a year of testing, packing, and hitting the road, our staff has put together a list of 85 winners. Here to share some of the standouts, the executive editor of Shop Today, Adriana Brock.
And don't forget, you can scan the QR code below to shop along with us. Adriana, good morning.
Hi, Adriana.
You guys have tested hundreds of products.
Hundreds of products. This is our 4th year doing it, so we know what we're doing, I think.
Yeah.
And the first one I have to start with is the fashion, because when you're on the go, you're traveling, whether it's air travel, car travel, what have you, the last thing you want to think about is your outfit. And you want something that's comfortable, easy to pack, isn't going to wrinkle up. And this one from Uniqlo is our favorite one and done dress. And I love it because it's so versatile. It's under $40, and you can really wear it on an airplane, in a car, use it as a swimsuit cover up. You could dress it up, dress it down. Love it with a denim jacket and some sneakers, or you could dress it up with some heels and like a nice necklace for dinner. Either way, this is a winner. It comes in a bunch of different colors and sizes, and it has pockets, which I think is the selling point for any dress.
With pockets. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
There's one.
What about this? This is a collapsible backpack?
Yes, this is a backpack. So I don't know about you guys, but I will do anything to avoid checking a bag and paying for a checked bag because it's so expensive. And you got to think about round trip too. So this backpack is super lightweight, and you could pack it to the brim. It's from a brand called Osprey, and they make a ton of great packs that are really lightweight. And I love that you open it up, and it's kind of like a suitcase. Oh, so you can really cram in.
That's the same as the backpack?
This is literally it.
Oh, wow.
And just a different direction. You could cram so much in there. You have a laptop sleeve, and because we're all about the details, it's got a trolley sleeve, so you can put it on your rollerboard too, because nothing's worse than having to juggle a ton of stuff at the airport or when you're on the go.
Okay.
That's why it's a winner.
Yeah, really. Okay, tell us about these totes.
Okay, have you guys heard about these garment bags that turn into actual bags?
No.
That you can then use. This is genius. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Half Day.
Sold.
This is a previous travel award winner, and this brand is phenomenal because they are really known for making design-forward, quality pieces made with function in mind. They're not just making nice stuff. So this is actually a garment bag that turns into a duffel. So I think we have video of how it works so you guys can see it at home. But you open it up, you lay down your suit, your dress, all your nice, occasion wear, things you don't want wrinkled up and crumbled into your bag, and then you fold it up, and then you still have space inside to put things like shoes, your toiletry bag, and this is a really great carry-on item too.
That is great.
So we really love it. They also gave us a discount, 25% off for our viewers. So if you haven't scanned the QR code, get on it.
Yeah, because it's like 2 pieces of luggage for one.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like the innovation.
Yeah, that's
exciting.
great.
This next one, passport. So if you guys don't have a real ID, you still need your passport when you're traveling nowadays. And this, I always feel like passports, I don't know where it is. I can't find it. So this has a built-in tracker with Bluetooth.
Smart.
So this is genius. The battery lasts up to 5 months, and then when you're ready to charge it, it's a wireless charge. It's so easy. It also doubles as a wallet, so you can put your cash, your cards in it, your boarding pass, and it will always keep your passport really, really safe. So this is one that I think everyone should have, whether you travel once a year or 12 times a year.
And you can track it through your phone or whatever?
Exactly, through the Find My app.
Like an AirTag thing?
Exactly.
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Tell us about these.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's sturdy.
So
Sorry.
This is the Casemate.
Break it, you buy it. I own it.
Pottery barn rule.
So this is the Casemate, and we love this to protect your phone when you're traveling, like if you're by a pool or a beach. I personally took this on a cruise with me, so I had my phone in it to protect it. You also have a slot for your wallet, for some cash and your rings, your valuables, things like that. And it has a crossbody strap, so you could keep it with you. You don't have to leave it on the beach
Those
or
are
leave
good
it
for the kids
unattended.
this summer if you're going to the lake or you're going to a water park.
Yes,
oh my
You can
God.
also
water
take
park.
pictures
The water
underneath
park,
the
'cause
water.
You can't bring your phone.
Thank
This is
you.
a
You can put a
water
hotel
park.
key and some cash.
I have one for all of you and your kids.
Okay, great. I know. That means we have to go to the water park.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The trip.
Okay. This one is one of my favorites. Have you guys heard about the Charmera?
No.
No.
Okay, so this is, do you remember the Kodak of 1987?
Of course.
Yes.
The disposable?
Like it was yesterday, Adriana.
Right, so exactly.
Yeah.
So they came out with the Charmera, and this has kind of taken the internet by storm, and our team loves it because the original Kodak that launched in 1987 was all about spontaneous photo taking. And, nowadays with our phones, it's like, everything's so, like,
Oh my God, it
posed.
works.
But
That
it
is
works.
crazy.
So this takes photos and video because it's 2026,
gosh.
right?
I was trying to do a
How cool is this? I will say the SD card is separate, so you have to buy it separately.
Okay.
But this is genius, and it comes in a blind box.
Does it come out looking like vintage or
It's
like
vintage inspired. You're buying this for the vibes, not necessarily like a
The quality or
high-res
something.
photo.
Okay.
But this is great.
But then you plug it in and it goes right on your phone? They're digital images?
You know what's fun
the
at like a
SD
party?
card.
You could just put these on the table, like a
Yes.
wedding or whatever. Let people take randos.
Exactly.
And then gather.
Or the kids, if you want to do screen free and you're on the go.
Wow,
this
very
goes,
cool.
That's
like
fun.
literally fits in the palm of your hand.
Okay, but you have to buy the card
But
separately.
you have to buy the card, which we linked out to. But this is genius. It's a blind
Thank you,
box,
Adriana.
which is also a little fun.
She's back with more in the third and fourth hours, and to shop everything you see and more, you can scan and hit the QR code there or head to today.com/travel awards. Over to Craig now. Craig.
All right, here's a nice transition from shopping to spring cleaning your wallet. Christine Romans, she's going to walk us through a checkup for financial health. But first, this is Today on NBC. And welcome back. This morning on Today's Consumer, a little spring cleaning, not just for your home, but also your wallet. Now is the perfect time for a money reset so you can make sure that you're moving in the right direction. So, here with everything you need to know is NBC's chief business correspondent, Christine Romans.
Morning.
You love spring cleaning.
I do. Look, I think everyone should be allowed to splurge.
Yeah.
So if you clean everything up now, do a little bit of spring clean, you can splurge for the rest of the year.
So what areas should we look at first? How should we start?
So you've got, 3 months of credit card bills and bank statements. Just look at those. Spend a few minutes and see what your patterns and behaviors are. See what your baseline is. I think a lot of people think they're spending less money than they really are. So look and review those monthly transactions and identify the creep upgrades.
What are those?
That's like, are you getting food delivery too often? Are you getting overnight package delivery that you're paying for? Are you doing too many ride shares? Are you buying things that you think are a little bit of a splurge, but it's actually your baseline? Your baseline's creeping up. You're spending a little bit more than you thought. And identify those places where you're spending all that money and cut some of those recurring costs, especially for things like low value subscriptions and the things that, gym memberships you're not using. Find these things that you're paying for every month that you're not really using and get rid of those. Also, it's good for your financial security because you don't want all of your information in a lot of different places, especially if you're not paying attention to those accounts. So cut out those accounts and those things that you're not using.
And we all have those things, too.
Oh, we have lots of them.
Let's talk about insurance and healthcare costs because those can be a little harder to trim.
Yeah, update your information. You need to look at this every year and update your info and take a look at what you're spending for home and for auto and for healthcare insurance. And you might be able to shop some insurance, like bundle your home and auto. These prices have been rising for the past few years. So if you haven't shopped around for a better rate, you need to do that right now. Check the deductible progress on your health insurance. If you're getting close to your deductible, you can start scheduling your doctor's appointments for this summer. So you'll be saving some money there. And it's a good time. A third of the year, quarter of the year is gone. So it's a good time to start thinking about your well-child visits, your annual physical, all that stuff. Get that scheduled for the summer.
Christine Romans maintains that we should also polish up our financial paperwork.
Yes.
What does that mean?
This means look at your W-4 at work. This is the form that you have at work that puts your withholdings in writing, and you want to make sure that that is appropriate. If you're getting big tax refunds or you're having to pay a lot, your withholding at work is probably not right. So check your W-4. Review your beneficiaries on all of your accounts, your financial accounts, your brokerage account, your retirement account, your insurance account. You'd be surprised how many people don't have up-to-date beneficiaries on those. And then this is the time of year to bump up your 401k contribution, your retirement contribution. Even by one little percentage point, I promise you won't notice.
Really quickly on the W-4, can you change that anytime, or do you have to wait until open enrollment?
You can change anytime. You can go in there right now and say, I think I need to take another $100 out of every paycheck because I got a big tax bill this year.
Speaking of 401ks, how do you spring clean those retirement finances?
You need to set it and forget it. Make sure that you at least have the minimum contribution from your company. So keep the habit, adjust if necessary, but you want to be doing this. Automate your savings. Always pay yourself first. Make sure you're putting things away, especially in the tax-advantaged accounts, and focus on the long term. And what do I mean by that? The S&P 500 is up 70% over the past 5 years.
Wow.
So every dollar you are squirreling away, even a dollar, is worth a lot more today. So you want to just avoid the big headlines, the ups and downs of the market every day, and just be focusing on the long term, putting those pre-tax dollars away, and I promise you'll thank yourself in the long term.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Spring Cleaning with Christine Romans. That's a podcast I'd listen to.
Okay, would you? All right.
Thank you, Christine. Coming up on the third hour, my inspiring conversation with Pulitzer Prize-winning author Percival Everett. It's pretty fascinating. That's coming up in just a few minutes. But first, your local news, weather, these quick messages.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.